Okay, so we're in the middle of Reish Yud Beis Sif Aleph. This is the halachas of Iker and Tofel. That you make a bracha on the Iker, and that covers the Tofel. So let's just, we're in the middle of the Ramah, but let's just chazah the Mechaber, just so we can finish it off. Kol sho Iker ve'imei tefela. Pirush Dovel Bilti Nechshav. So you've got something which is a combination of Iker and Tofel. The examples we gave on last week were, you've got a pasta sauce on pasta, and you've got cheese and things. So the pasta is the ikka, that's the mazonas, and then the other things is toffel to it, or you've got some, some ice cream, and then you've got some sauce on top of it. That the ikka is the ice cream. So that would be, you make a bracha on the ikka, and that patters the toffel. So bein mi bracha shel afaneh, bein mi bracha shel achareha. That's true for brachas before and afterwards. No beboy, so ikka ma'urv ma'tofel. Not only if it's all mixed up together do you make a bracha on the ikka, and afilu kol echad levado. Even if it's separate things, you would still make a bracha only on the ikka, not on the tofel. But afilu pas shechoshev mikol is most choshev of foods. Imhu tofel is sometimes the bread itself can be a tofel. Kagoin sheichel dag moliach v'eichel pas imay kadei shelo yazikenu begrona. You're only eating the bread in order that it wouldn't, the sharp fish won't hurt you. In that situation, you make a bracha on the fish and not eating, and that patters the consumption of the pas. Okay, that's what we did on Friday with the Mishnah Berurah. Let's do the Ramah. V'yesh oimrim im hatofel chaviv lei. There are those who say that if the tofel is precious to him, he enjoys it, mevarich alav va'achar kach mevarich al ha'ikah. Then some say that you actually make a bracha on the tofel, and then afterwards you make a bracha on the ikka. Now, okay, now that which we've said all along, that you make a bracha on the ikka and that patters the tofel, says the Ramah on the next page, that's when you're eating it together, or the ikka food comes first. Either you're eating it as a combination, or the ikka comes first and then the subordinate, the tofel thing, comes next. But there are those who say that if you eat the tofel first, for example, you want to drink something, but you want to eat something first, so that you shouldn't be drinking on an empty stomach, or you're eating the seeds of the cherries or whatever these things are in order to sweeten the drink. In that situation, you make a bracha on the food first, which is just enabling you to drink. But even though it's bracha, maybe something different, for example, these seeds or whatever, you still only make a shakal, because it's l'maisa tofel for the main thing. Okay, it says Mishnah Berurah, we're up to Vov. So we said she'achlan biyachad, that certainly the ikka and tofel is all eaten together, then you make a bracha on the ikka and not the tofel. Says Mishnah Berurah Sivkot and Vav, v'moichel pas bekisnin im gvina. Say for example you eat some mazonos with cheese, or shad dovel lafes by. Imagine like a bereka, right? You've got mazonos and then you've got filling, whatever, cheese, potato, whatever. So you're eating it, it's accompanying it. Af shehem gamkein chavivim olav. Even though I enjoy the cheese or the mix, the filling of the bereka, I'm hungry to eat it. So for a bereka, something like that, which is a mixture where it's all mixed up into it, you make a bracha. Even though I enjoy the cheese or the whatever is in there, still I make a bracha on mazonos. The mistaber shehu ikka etzlei, because mistaber that is the ikka for you. The accompanying thing is the thing which is dressing it is considered the tofel. Okay, so then you make so that the Ramah said that even when you eat them together, you make a bracha on the. When is it true that the bracha of the ikka patters the tofel? That's true when it's all mixed up together, or you eat the ikka tchila. Says the Mishnah Berurah, ikka tchila, and then you're having the tofel afterwards, and the function of the tofel is to sweeten, or to take it to sweeten what the ikka was. For example, you eat a radish, but you're eating something afterwards just to take away the sharpness of the snain. Okay, and then in the example the Ramah gives, but that's true if you have them together, or if you eat the ikka first, you make a bracha on the ikka. But says the Ramah, if you eat the tofel first, and then you have the ikka, then you can need to make a bracha on the toffel. And the example he gives, you're eating these seeds which help you to have the drink afterwards. Because if you're eating the ikka first, makes sense. If you're eating the toffel first, how can you eat without making a bracha? How can you get any hana without making a bracha? And therefore, the Ramah says that when you say that ikka is patas the toffel, that's when you're eating them together. Or you're eating the ikka first. But if you're eating the toffel first, it's hard to say that the ikka is going to pata that, because you're eating your nene below bracha. Okay. And in that situation, when you eat the toffel first, you make a bracha rak of shahakol, he says. Even if it's actual bracha, normally it's something else, here it only gets a shahakol. Why? At the end of the day, it is a toffel, and it's just functioning the main food. It loses its natural bracha, whatever it was, and rather you make a shahakol, because it shouldn't be without any bracha. The Ramah doesn't argue with this. It doesn't distinguish or differentiate in any way. The Magen Avram argues with this. When is it true that if you eat the toffel first, you mean to make a bracha on it? That's only if the ikka that you are going to eat is also shahakol. Since you've got to eat the ikka first, the toffel first, so then it needs a bracha. When you've got the same brachas. Then, if you're having something, you don't want to drink the wine on an empty stomach. So you want to have, let's say, a banana first. So you don't make a shahakal on that banana. There, in that situation, you make a beri pri hadama. If you're having the toffel first, and both the bracha of the toffel and the ikka is shahakal, then you can make a shahakal on the toffel, and that will cover the ikka as well. And therefore, the best thing to do is just avoid eating the toffel kodim the ikka. So just to summarize this point, we're talking about the brachas of ikka and toffel, and the halach is that you make the bracha on the ikka, and that covers the toffel. That's the general rule. The Ramah explains that is true when you're eating, the mixture is all mixed up together, the ikka and the toffel. Think of your pasta with your sauces and vegetables on top of it, and cheese. You make one bracha because you're eating it together. Or if you eat the ikka first, for example, you're having a gefilte fish, and then you have a little bit of the sauce on top of it or whatever. But if, says the Ramah, you have the toffel first, and it's just taking, it's just to prepare you to eat the ikka, then if you're having the toffel first, it needs a bracha. What bracha? Shahakal. Says Mishnah Berurah, that's only if the ikka is also shahakal. But if the ikka is something else, for example, it's wine, and you want to have, let's say, a banana beforehand, then you would require the designated bracha, the hadama on it. Okay, let's just finish off the Mishnah Berurah. Yud Aleph, Hayavu tofel dovachev, v'matofel chaviv olav. If the tofel is precious to you, mevoich olav birchasa haru'uyah. Then you make the appropriate bracha. Okay, let's just do base. Mirkachas, some sort of dish, some sort of spread. Shemenichin al rakikin dakin. So you imagine like a jam. You make a jam with berries in it, etc., and you spread it over some sort of mezonos. Hainu tefela lemerkachas, and the ikar is the merkachas, and they're not the rakikin. So shadov yodur she'ein meschavnin lechol lahem, because lochem, because these things that's not really your focus. Your focus is on the merkachas. Okay, it says in Mishnah Berurah, and therefore you need to make a bracha on the merkachas alone. If you look at 21, two interesting haras we're doing on this simon, this if also with regard to a fruit cake, because think about a fruit cake. Imagine you've got like an apple pie type thing. You've got mezonos and you've also got bits of fruit in it. So says the Shevet Halevi, Shahel v'habotzik nefe yachad im apera. Since it was all baked together, v'heim gam ne'acholim yachad, and it's also eaten together. Afidu kamas aperes meruba. Even if the volume of the fruit is more, you've got lots of apples in your apple pie. It's got the same volume as the actual mazonos. Nevertheless, you make a mazonos on this cake, because the maisa that is the ikar. The ikar is cake, and it's got a filling. So you make a mazonos. Even like a cheesecake, you've got a very thin layer of mazonos. So, for example, you've got a cheesecake with a pastry type thing, and you've got cheese in it. The Maisa, you say this is a cheesecake. It's called a cheesecake, but still, because it was all baked together, the ikar will be the mazonos, and you make one bracha. We did say earlier that if it's a very, very thin layer of mazonos, then you would make a shakel on it. And we said that's why the same thing with Schnitzel, that if you've got a very thin layer of mazonos, of matzah meal batter, you still make a shakel on it. But if it's a very thick layer, the poskim say, then you would make a mazonos on it. Let's just finish the last sif cotton. Lechol lechem, rak sheboim ledabik hamerkachas aleim. That's just because you're facilitating the eating of the merkachas, this sort of jam-like spread. Shelo yitonfu hayodayim bidvash, so you shouldn't touch the sticky honey. V'ayim ba'achronim shekosu v'adim noseinu she'osin hadushonim she'tovim lemachol manichim hamerkachas aleihem im kein kavnosa gam kein la'achila hadushonim mevorech aleihem. Okay. V'ayim le'el simen kuf samaches mishabura sif cotton. Memhei mavua shel kashom kol pruti din zeh. Okay, beseder. All right, we'll leave that.